The producers of this radio show would like to express that they in no manner wish to support or condone the words and phrases, such as, ass, booty, yo bitch, the mayor is a dickhead, and big butt women in tiny bikinis, which are used in this radio show. However, in an effort to maintain accuracy and journalistic integrity, words and phrases such as, ass, booty, yo bitch, the mayor is a dickhead, and big butt women in tiny bikinis are necessary. But rest assured, these words and phrases, such as ass, booty, bitch, the mayor is a dickhead, and big butt women in tiny bikinis, will not be used without warrant, or in any gratuitous manner. The producers would also like you to know that all characters and events in this show, even those based on real people, are entirely fictional. All celebrity voices are impersonated poorly. The following program contains coarse language and mature themes, and due to its content it should not be listened to by anyone. Listener discretion is advised.
Perfect!
Hi, this is the Ops radio show on Co-op Radio, 100.5 CFRO on your FM dial. We'd like to give a land acknowledgement of the Coast Salish Nations. Haichka Siam, Haichka.
Overdose Prevention Society. A place where you can overdose safely. If you're overdosing, lying panicked on the floor, don't worry, some of us have also overdosed before. Take a big deep breath. The ambulance is on its way. No need to panic just cause you can't breathe. We got Narcan kits and they're handing them out for free. OD, OD, OD. Overdose Prevention Society.
You may put out a cigarette at one and notice the other for his charm and good looks. This is Smokey, Devil, and Ashtray. Downtown Eastside news and events.
Alright, you're with Smokey, Devil, and Ashtray. This is the Downtown Eastside news.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Morning, whatever.
Morning, whatever time it is.
In the torture chamber.
We are recording this interview in a dingy basement room in Strathcona. So hopefully there's not too much echo, and you guys can hear us loud and clear.
Yeah.
So this week we've got this thing. This is our 4th episode.
Yeah.
And we usually start the show off with a memorial.
Yeah, we got a long list this week.
Yeah, a lot of people have passed in the past 2 weeks.
Like, way too many. Well, once too many is what it is, but this is like multiples, right? Like almost 10 people.
Yeah, never ending.
Yeah.
Never ending for sure. So I guess the big one that we lost recently, it's been covered in the news quite frequently, was Spike Gerald Spike Peachy. Yeah. Rest in peace.
Been living for years and years.
And yeah, I got a lot of memories with Spike. I mean, say what you want about the guy. He did a lot of advocacy for our neighborhood.
He did. He was all about the neighborhood, man. He was about the community. People either they loved him or hated him, right? Like he was like a cartoon character, kind of like you liked him or you didn't, right? He was like very like you knew he was there, right? When he was in the room, he's like, there he is, right? He's like, how you doing? And like used car salesman, like, how you doing?
Used car salesman.
How you doing, buddy?
Yeah.
And he was always happy though and shit, right?
Circus showman.
Yeah, or he always had some wild idea, like, this is how it's gonna go like this,
Yeah.
Try to rewrite everything in history.
Yeah.
But one thing with him was that he's really involved with that newspaper in the
Megaphone.
Yeah, he was right into that, and he kind of came up to me one afternoon. I was showing him a friend of ours, this dope dealer guy that died off fentanyl like in a really bad way from some deep stuff. Foggy Joe. He quit drugs just like you, and he'd been clean for a couple of years or whatever.
and he just was making dope or whatever, and somehow breathed in or something and died from it.
Oh,
sorry, I don't know what it was. My mistake, sorry. He took a Xanny bar, like a pill, thinking it was like that, but it ended up being fake with fentanyl in it, and he died off it. And it was a harsh shock.
So it was a fake Xanny bar?
Yeah, a fake Xanny bar. That's a lot of them these days. People won't even buy them these days because there's so many of those, right?
Yeah.
The fentanyl pressed, right?
Get your drugs tested, people.
Yeah, you have to.
Even your fake Xanny bars.
Yeah, and remember even the guy that smoked the trap, remember that guy with the motorcycle?
Yep.
That nice guy that worked with you, remember? That
yeah.
Man? That was sad. But even, I'm going to say, I'm just going to admit, like, I use drugs still on occasion, and this week I even went down too. That's just to be fully honest with you. And there was a time I only took two tokes of it. It was a black color and it looked like tar, kind of, or it looked like coal, sorry.
Yeah.
It had a really weird texture to it. And I had already been doing THB with some girls earlier that night, and I was running to ops that morning, and I just took two tokes of it, and I hit the ground, and I was done, like flat.
Man, thank God you came to ops.
Well, yeah, I know, isn't that awesome? I just dropped off the girls somewhere, and I went in there, and you weren't there, you were doing something else?
Don't use alone, people.
No, you can't, that's the number one thing, right? So, anyways, yeah, it was a shocker, but... with the back to Spike there, he owes me I was drawing a picture of Joe on the wall with Foggy, right? On this wall that the city gave me, remember?
Yeah.
One across in the west. And it said that Joe, he was a brand new father and all that too when he passed away. It was really sad.
What year was that?
3 years ago, I think.
So like 2017,
something like that.
2018?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
And anyway, it's one of the calendars. It ended up being, right? That was in January, I was in it. And so because that was...
in the megaphone, Hope and Shadows?
Yeah.
Okay, so it was a Hope and Shadows, you're Mr. January.
Yeah, but it's nice. There I am in the glass video on and everything, funny.
Nice.
Nice red one too, it's cool. And so there I'm standing in front of my painting, or my picture I drew with Sharpies actually. A picture of Joe, and it was him, I was a classy father, all the rest of it. And I'm standing with the red glass hoodie, and Spike took a picture of me, and I ended up winning out of like thousands of pictures, and I was in the calendar. So he comes and grabs me one day and goes, hey, you gotta come up into this thing, it's gonna be about the calendar, and you gotta go there and get some money. Nice. So I'm like, oh, okay, I know all dope stick and stuff, and I go up there, ends out there's about 700 people there. And I'm like, what? And I go up in front of all these people, like, Smokey Devil, come here, and I'm like, you know, and I'm like, oh, whoa. And I go up and I put it right on, I'm like, whoa, I'm waiting. There's like, hey, come on up here, just come on up here. I'm like, oh my God. And, yeah, so anyways, it was picture one, and then what happened was he goes, I'm gonna take this much though, and you get this much. I'm like, why? And we get 50-50, right? He goes, I did all the work. I'm like, okay, Spike, whatever, man. You know?
Yeah.
Whatever, you know, I didn't care, but it was still cool. It was funny though that he was still pretty happy that it won and stuff, right?
Yeah.
And I was happy too. It was like, cool. I go, that time and that, you know? And they're really nice people at that place, actually. He introduced me to all of them and stuff, and I was going to Club 44 there for food and everything, you know?
Megaphone does a lot of work for the community. It's
yeah,
really
they're very dedicated people.
Yeah.
Very polite, nice people there as well,
yeah.
You know? They're down there, they don't judge you and stuff like that, right?
That's how Spike was, man.
Yeah.
He doesn't really, he didn't take crap from people, and he made sure that he was paid what he was worth, or what he felt he was worth.
Yeah, and he tell people, like, you would go, hey, don't mess with my friend, he's this, you know, he's this nuts, so don't mess with him or whatever. He just put people in their place, right? He's a little too brutally honest at times, but, you know, that's just the way it was, right? But all in all, I miss him, and, you know, like, he really caught me off guard when I heard he died. I was like, no, that can't be. Same with that artist guy, like, that caught me off guard too.
Yeah, Al Stairs, rest in peace.
Yeah, he's a good artist, man. I love that guy. You know, he was happy to see us, remember?
Yeah.
You know, there's a picture of you, us three.
Yeah, I got it. I posted it on Facebook.
He really, like, rock stars, he draw really well and stuff. Everyone knows, if you You know who I meant, if you're listening right now, you know the guy I'm talking about.
Alan Sayers.
He had big glasses and you look
Look him up. There was an article about him in the Tyee too.
And you the pig picture, that's the picture, but that's the thing.
We're just losing so many community members every day. Recently, Dave Napio was another one.
Old Man Art.
And Old Man Art. Yeah, it's awful how many community members we're losing on a daily basis here in the downtown Eastside.
It's starting to kind of freak me out a little bit. Like, it's not, like, I'm not getting over it. Like, it's starting to worry me. Not me personally, like, for myself, but, like, just my surroundings are getting really, like, smaller. It's just almost not realistic. It's surreal now, you know?
Yeah.
Like, it's kind of, like, remember how kind of, like, at first it was really bad, and then it kind of, stopped, and now it's coming back, you know?
And how do you, like, find time to, like, mourn when you lose someone and, like, process that, right? When it's just, like, one after another, like...
And then how do you, and it gives some honesty, you feel the same way, like, sometimes you feel guilty because you don't feel that upset about the person, like, you feel bad, but you don't feel, to myself, I feel like, Smokey, how come I'm not that upset about this, like, I am, but I'm not, like back in the day when a friend would pass away, I'd be, like, all thinking about it all the time and everything. Because it's just like bang, 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 you know what I mean?
Yeah, you do become desensitized to it
that's
almost.
Right, that's what it is. Yeah, jaded, I guess, right?
Yeah.
And people that say that they don't lose or they just don't they've never been that yet, right?
Yeah. All right, well, rest in peace, big rest in peace to Spike, Gerald Spike Peachy, David Napio, and Art. By the time this...
And there's a few more too, I just can't remember right now, like, there's so many.
By the time this episode airs, basically a week from now, this is all pre-recorded because we're not allowed in the studio, I'm sure there'll be more, sadly, unfortunately.
That's right.
It's too much to process, really, it is.
Well, I know, but we should stay on the positive, because you and I together, we're good, right? I look at that, I love you, man, and I look up to you, man, and we conduct things and stuff, right?
Oh, thanks, Smokey.
Yeah, like, I mean, you're more of the smarter one, and I'm more of like the other, and you know what I mean? But that's just like...
This is the Morgan Davis Minute with your host, Morgan Davis.
Hello, it's a beautiful day, and we are here with Eris Nyx, one of the main proponents of DULF, the Drug User Liberation Front. How are you doing today?
I'm great. I haven't been better.
Okay, that's excellent. So DULF has recently come out with a sustainer donor program. Can you tell all of us what this is about?
Here's the idea. People are dying because they can't get clean drugs. And everyone knows the answer is get people clean drugs. But the thing no one wants to do is get people clean drugs. So basically you give us your money and then we buy clean drugs and then we give them to people and they don't die of overdoses. It's logic, really. It's pure logic. It's pure reason.
Okay, so how exactly does this work? You send the money and then the drugs come out of where? What happens?
People send us their money. We buy Monero. We put the Monero into the dark web and then we buy drugs through the mail. We test the drugs, then we mail them or give them to whoever, all the drug user groups provincially once we have enough money. So the idea is to get a lot of money to buy a lot of drugs and then to do a research study to prove that nobody's overdosing from taking the clean drugs, which obviously they won't and haven't at all historically. Pretty straightforward project.
It's interesting because, a lot of people that I've talked to are quite wary of the dark web, and when you mention dark web, they think that, these are the drugs that are going to kill them and these are the drugs that are going to be toxic, but it's actually quite the opposite, is it not?
Well, those people are stupid. That's what I have to say. Anyone that disagrees with us is stupid.
But could you maybe tell people a little bit about how there is like a process in the dark web?
It's called escrow. Your money goes into escrow, and then you argue with French Canadians, wherever the hell we're buying these drugs from, which I'm not even too sure. They seem like they're French Canadian men, and your money goes into escrow when you get you can check the drugs, and then if your drugs aren't good, you get your money back. But you have to argue with these Quebecois renegade Quebecois people. And if whoever sold me a Tizalame instead of Xanax could give me, if you're listening to this radio show, give me my fucking money back. Stop arguing. I'm gonna get my money back.
Yeah, so basically there is like a review system as well, is there not? And if someone has too many bad reviews, they get kicked off.
It's like Amazon, or eBay, or Discogs, but with drugs. It's like the Discogs of drugs is where we go, and it's a national operation, and too many bad reviews, you get kicked off. You know who has the good stuff, because they have good reviews, just like any other digital marketplace. Digital. Beep, boop, 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 boop.
Yeah, so like for anyone listening, it is safer. Like if it's safer than buying from someone that you don't know on the street, obviously, because there is.
Well, the problem is a lag time. I'm like, you can go to the street and get drugs right now. On the dark web, it's going to take you like a week to get them, and then you got to go get them tested, and then you have to wait for the result, and blah, 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 blah. So if you want drugs right now, because there's no supply chain set up for any of this, it's like harder. The whole, situation's pretty scroundled, and we're just a minute operation trying to do our best.
Yeah, this kind of leads me to my next question. So, like, in a best case scenario, like, what do you hope this program will achieve in the community and, like, potentially beyond?
Well, I'm like, how much heroin can you get? That's the real question. Because eventually I feel like you'll hit a point of saturation where you can't get enough heroin to satiate the demand. So, I mean, up until that point, I'm like, we're going to get people as much clean drugs as we can. Once we can't go further, then, questions about policy change start becoming more realistic. It is not a good situation, and sometimes I feel like we're mining fool's gold. We're the Rumpelstiltskins of harm reduction.
Yeah, the endless supply of heroin is not at anyone's fingertips yet.
Well, I mean, people are saying they can get us, X amount of heroin. I'm also just like, I don't want to be in the middle of trafficking that much heroin. Like, the situation sucks. Shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. And everyone's dead.
So, yes, the point is to obviously reduce the amount of death in any way possible. This is another extension of that.
Well, the idea is if you could get one hit of unpredictable drugs or one hit of predictable drugs where you knew how high you were going to get and what was in it, which one would you prefer? Most people would take the predictable content drugs, not the unpredictable, maybe it'll kill you drugs.
Yeah.
It's a very pragmatic solution to the situation, but then there are barriers because the government sat on its hands for 5 fucking years.
Yeah.
Like, they could be growing all the heroin here. They could just legalize, opium cultivation internationally, dismantle all the UN fucking drug treaties and blah, blah, blah. But instead, they've just been like, this isn't a problem, and everyone died. And now we're like, okay, we'll do it. Which is the dumbest answer to the situation.
If anybody wanted to donate, where would you tell them to do that?
www.dulf.ca/SDC for Sustainer Donor Campaign. You can sign up to make a donation there. If you have cryptocurrency and just want to send us cryptocurrency, there are wallet addresses as well. And you can also send us a direct e-transfer. You can give us cash money. You can mail us cash to our P.O. box, etc.
Okay, well...
I think that's illegal.
I just think the mailing cash is actually not a good idea. Maybe don't do that. But anyway, thank you for your time. Is there anything else that you want to say about the program?
No, we're fucked. We are totally fucked, and we're fucked. That's what I want to say. Everyone's gonna die. There's no light at the end of this tunnel. The train has run off the tracks.
Okay, well, thank you very much, Eris, and we will be talking to you again soon.
Oh, I'm sure.
Bye-bye.
And now, a word from our sponsors.
So in other news, let's get on some other stuff here that's going to happen. Some community activism.
Yeah.
Big news. Vancouver City Council to consider new policies to discourage graffiti.
Yeah.
This affects someone we know greatly, and myself as well. I am a big lover of graffiti and graffiti.
You're a big part of the scene, man.
Yeah, graffiti activism and giving artists space and everything.
That's us.
So let's read the news briefing here.
Okay.
Over the course of the pandemic, there has been a spike in the type of graffiti and tagging to be considered vandalism, and this activity is becoming a costly burden for the struggling businesses that are frequently targeted. According to the municipal government, the areas that we're seeing the highest number of graffiti are the downtown Vancouver area, Grandview Woodland, Mount Pleasant, Strathcona, Kensington, Cedar College, and Kitsa-fucking-Lano, as well as a 60% increase of graffiti in city-owned property. This motion by the Green Party councillor Pete Fry and independent councillor Lisa Dominato aims to address this issue. Since the COVID-19 pandemic, less eyes on the street, more boarded up storefronts, and the frustrated population have led to a noticeable uptick in graffiti and street tagging across the city. Nuisance graffiti has seen a significant increase, reads the motion, which brings up the Broken Windows series, based on anecdotal and empirical evidence that the presence of graffiti in the area over an extended period encourages more graffiti. Well, yeah, everyone wants to get their name on the wall, right?
Hey, I know nothing about that, and I mean, that art looks a little familiar, but I don't know that.
So, what they're asking for more on this is, they're asking for new support for graffiti removal efforts on business improvement associations, already spent significantly on in-house contracted graffiti management. The downtown Vancouver PIA has alone budgeted $500,000, $575,000 for the fiscal year for removing graffiti in areas of its jurisdiction.
Come on.
And then the motion proposes another $300,000 for new grant funding to PIAs for removing graffiti, specifically within the highest percentage of graffiti incident, which is obviously going to be the downtown east side, because the downtown east side is synonymous with graffiti.
It's apocalyptic now, remember?
That is where it flourishes. It's got a community of graffiti artists. We all know each other. We all try to work together. Sometimes we don't always get along, but there is a community of people here that love art and love graffiti and want to see it flourish. So we're going to go talk to Pete Fry and City Council and Mayor about this agenda item. And I don't know, Smokey, what would you like to see happen?
We should talk to Karen Ward tonight.
Yeah. What would you like to see happen though, Smokey? What would be the answer?
Okay, my outcome with it, I don't really think this with the COVID thing and the boarded up windows and all that stuff. I don't think graffiti is really the big problem. The whole world is no one knows what's going to happen right now. No one knows what the outcome is going to be. So let's not really worry too much about the graffiti on the wall.
As an art form, it saved a lot of people from doing drugs.
Yeah, and prison doesn't help anybody.
I don't want to get into too many specific artists. I don't want to tell their story, but I know at least two artists in my mind that said graffiti has saved my life. Doing graffiti and painting on walls kept me from getting into hardcore gangster lifestyle and selling drugs.
Me.
has kept their nose clean from that. So it's a very positive thing for people to work on that. What I would like to see personally is more opportunity for graffiti writers.
Yeah.
More legal spots.
Yeah, legal spots.
More legal spots. More opportunity for graffiti writers.
Not just one week.
More small businesses and big businesses working with the graffiti writers as a community to create job opportunities for them. And why doesn't the city just stop charging businesses for graffiti removal in the first place?
Yeah, exactly.
That's turning businesses against artists.
Yeah.
It's like the city doesn't make enough from parking enforcement already.
Come on, man. Like, just taxes, like they're making money off it with all the bunch. This epidemic or pandemic or whatever it is. They're just trying to turn a wheel off anything, you know what I mean?
All right, so I guess we're gonna wrap this up here. So I guess this is part one of a two-part episode.
Yeah.
To be continued. Next time we come back, we'll have some information about how our meeting with City Council and the Mayor went.
Also,
on the graffiti.
Much thanks to Eris for the producing.
Big thanks to our producer.
She's really good.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
And we'll be back with you soon.
Yeah.
Thanks for listening to Ops Radio.
This is the Morgan Davis Minute.
We're trying to make art! All of you! We're trying to make art here! Or at least I am! I swear to God, none of you take this seriously, especially you!
Morgan.
I'm tired of all you not getting it! We're trying to create an important piece of
Radio.
And if we get this shit right, it'll be...
Today's episode of the Morgan Day, this episode of Radio Minute has been changed to the Eris Nyx Radio Minute due to lack of production quality.
Hey there, you're tuned into Ops Radio
on 101.
FM Co-op Radio. You're here with Eris and Mohammed and Zach from the band Crack Cloud. How you doing tonight?
Hey, doing well.
Hey, how's it going, everyone?
So I guess why don't we begin this segment of the show with you guys, introducing yourselves and just talking about who you are and what the band's about and how you came to work together.
Hey, my name is Zach Choi. Mohammed and I, we met, what is it? Back in 2007, 2008?
I think, either I think we were communicating, 2006, but we didn't meet until 2007.
Yeah, actually, you know what? You tell the story better than I.
Okay, well, either way, I think we met on an online forum, and we just private messaged each other, reached out, and started playing music. We ran a venue back in Calgary. I don't know. I think also we did meet face-to-face for the first time at an anti-racist protest. It was against the Aryan Guard. Since then, I think we've always been oriented around getting people together and playing music, or at least that's one of the things.
I think that we lived through a lot together during those formative years. I think we were both pretty disturbed and struggled with depression and anxiety, and at least my motivation for being on the internet on some of those forums was to find people that I could relate to. And there are a lot of people that I thought I could relate to, and it turns out, I don't know any of those people anymore, but you and I have known each other since then. So I think, we lived through a lot of shit together, and then about, I guess, what has it been, 5-6 years now, after being through a lot.
I feel like Crack Cloud kind of originated from this need of us having spent a certain amount of time in arts community that we always felt that it was an uphill battle to even be recognized or noticed. We, in a sense, kind of almost made us combative in nature with the institutions that had already existed there. But enough time had passed that we felt the need to really exemplify all of our hard work and motivation. And I think Crack Cloud finally was this source or this output that we are able to put everything we've learned and all the energy that we've ever wanted to put into music and art into this one thing.
As tropey as it may sound, I think it was a real embodiment of the kind of personal rehabilitation that I felt like I needed to put myself through, and Crack Cloud being kind of like this catalyst for that in terms of archiving my experiences coming out of a decade of drug and alcohol abuse, and trying to contextualize it all, and using art and music and visuals as a way of exploring and understanding myself, as well as the people that we all worked with who came from similar experiences and needed a similar platform to contextualize and understand just what the hell we had been putting ourselves through for so long.
Perfect.
I think this idea of redemption and rebuilding yourself, a phoenix rising from its ashes, this is a theme we see a lot in the downtown Eastside, and a lot of folks feel like they can't. They've done so much wrong in the world that they can't dig themselves out of the hole. Maybe you could speak to that a little. This idea that there's like a subcast of humanity who's been condemned to never have the opportunity to be allowed to do the things others are.
Yeah, I mean, I think for sure. I think that was with Crack Cloud, at least. I felt that we were creating a space for certain, not specifically outcasts, but I think people who struggle with that self-doubt and guilt and all sorts of things, where they don't have church or they don't have some community that's always going to have their arms open. And I think we've strived on creating a sense of loyalty towards each other, and making sure that throughout any of these experiences that we go through, that we will still be grounded enough to see through it. And I think that comes with communication and hard work and discipline and all sorts of things. So I think sorry,
not to cut you off, but I think there is hope. There's a degree of hope. It's not just this arduous Sisyphean task.
For sure.
Where you're trying to dig yourself out of a hole, and it's just you against the wall.
Well, the reason why I say that, because there was a point in time where I did feel like it was impossible to get out of this hole, and I didn't know what it would take to feel that sense of hope, and
you have to remember there were the years of ostracism preceded Crack Cloud altogether, and I think it was like experiencing intense isolation and alienation, like self-imposed, as well as just forcefully being on the fringes of any semblance of community in Calgary, that I think over time informed how going into this kind of rehabilitative headspace, we wanted to create our own space where we could open up in a way where people who have been through that sort of thing could come completely disarmed and share their experiences and contextualize them with us, and we could.
Yeah, there was a lack of judgment. We don't. It's, I guess. It's like I said, as long as people are forthright, I suppose, and are communicating, I think that's kind of what we strived for, was a sense of engagement. And I think that was how we, or at least I perceived, how to, start to set mini goals and kind of course correct a lot of, I think a lot of the hardships and the times where things weren't so hot. But I will say that we've always strived on creating a community, and that was telling from the very beginning. With Zach and I, we've always had households where we invited a lot of people to play music, and we put on shows.
I guess the last thing I want to want to kind of bring up here is, do you guys have a message maybe for the downtown east side or about the neighborhood? Something that if folks listening could take anything away, what would it be?
I would say,
I think that when we're put into these positions, and I mean, I mean this sincerely. I would say that, you know, we always end up saying the medium is the message, and I think that that's kind of what Crack Cloud has always been about. Is you just, all this stuff is DIY. We came from a place where we were constantly told that we couldn't do this, we couldn't do that, and we made it work through just believing in each other and supporting each other and just love. And yeah, it's I think there's not much more.
Yeah, I would say the same. I would like to, like, you know, just I would say believe in yourself, and I just the idea that there will people you will find commonality with too. And I think if you put, like, you know, love and consideration and communication into the forefront of your relationships, I think there's always brightness, I think there is no one right way to live. And I think the message for the downtown east side specifically is that, hopefully the rest of the country won't forget you, and we won't forget downtown east side, and we'll always keep rooting for just, safe supply and making sure that everyone can live a happy life or fulfilling life.
Okay, well,
yeah.
Thank you very much, Crack Cloud, for being on the show today. If you want to check them out, you can visit their Bandcamp or Instagram, www.crackcloud.bandcamp.com, I assume, and Crack Cloud on Instagram. Thanks again to Mohammed and Zach for being on the show.